Rabbi Kaplan, we're continuing.
And the pasuk says, "Kain yitin lidido sheinu." So then, and the Gemara explains, Amar Yitzchak, that the Neshosem shall Tamid Chomim, that they stay awake, to help their husbands, or to wait for their husbands to come home. The Kain yitin lidido sheinu. Hashem will be. What does it say over here? Hashem will make them shine in the next world. So he was Muhammad Chus and the Talmidei Chachomim. They shouldn't have to pay taxes. They still didn't listen to him. So then he says, but what about Daniel Ish Chamudos? Can he be Machrias Kulam? Oh, Hashem said, who's this that's Muhammad Chus al-Bonai? Let him come into the pargud. It comes out that the Malach Gabriel was thrown out to the Acharei pargud, and from there he was Malamed Zchus on the Klal Yisrael, on the Talmidei Chachomim especially. And then, but in the Zchus of Daniel Ish Chamudos, he was let in because he used him as a limud zchus. He was let into the pargud. You see from this Gemara. And if you remember, or anybody remembers any other place where it talks about Acharei pargud, I'll be makir tova if they'll remind me where else it says. Al Koponim, this is the opposite of a leak. Here with the story of Gabriel, it's that he let something leak the inside, from the outside to inside he went in the Acharei pargud. But he heard what's going on. That means he was standing in the Acharei pargud, and it was leaked to him the gzeres that the Dubiel, the Sar Paras, wanted to be gozer on the Klal Yisrael. So you see from here that even in the heavenly court, there's such a thing as leaks. And you have to understand, what's the omek kohinyan of leaks? Why? And we have, of course, everything is b'hashgacha pratis, and it's all min hashamayim, and it's all planned. I would say that there are certain things that they can only come natsura of a leak. That means that you can't hear it straight from Hashem. And in the example over there, let's take the Gemara of or let's take the Piyut better. Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol, to hear that bezos atem nilkodim, that you're not going to be able to stand up and break this gzeir of asar arugei malchus. He couldn't have heard it with a straight nevuah from Hashem. If he would have heard it straight, maybe b'derech efshar, I would say that the nevuah to hear straight from Hashem, it would have been such a clear understanding that it has to be this gzeira of bezos atem nilkodim of asar arugei malchus, that he wouldn't have felt any pain at all from the gzeira that was nigzer on him. And it was a terrible, terrible torture that Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol went through, that they peeled off his skin. And it was Kshegialim Kam Tefillin, so he screamed B'kol Mar Liyotzer Nishmoso. If he would have heard it Melifnei HaPargud, he wouldn't have screamed that scream. That scream, he wouldn't have felt any pain at all. I'm saying B'derech efshar. Because it would be so clear to him that this is Ratzon Hashem, that this should happen, that even the Higilim Kom Tefillin wouldn't have caused any pain to him. But now that it only came Acharei pargud, that means that hearing, understanding, and hearing this Gzeira of Asar Arugei Malchus was with a certain Hester Ponim of the pargud. So that means he still had a feeling that there is an Olam Hazeh here. In Olam Hazeh there's pain. In Olam Hazeh there's Ra. In Olam Hazeh there are things that shouldn't happen. And because of that, he gave out that scream when it was Higilim Kom Tefillin. And who knows, what do we know, what kind of tikkunim that scream caused? Definitely Sof Kladers, and I once remember singing in some sefer brought down B'Shem Da'ariza that the Sarugim Malchus, they made such a tikkun of bringing up what they call halos man. Man is mein nukvin, the giving of olam haba, giving away to Hashem. That it made a certain tikkun that we benefit from it. Ad sof kladers, we benefit from the Mesiras Nefesh of the Asar Arugei Malchus.
Rabbi Kaplan.
What?
I'll just say a word over with your reshus.
Yeah.
Rav Ben-Zion Mitzapi.
Yeah.
Somebody once asked him, if a person is mamish has to, skip around in his davening,
Yeah.
what can he skip?
Yeah.
So he said a few things you can not skip under any circumstances. And one of them is in the Hodu prayer that we begin Shacharis with, is the line, El Nakamos Hashem, El Nakamos Afia. And there we have to think about Esra Rechu Malchus.
Yeah.
Often, Asur Ledaleg at the Pasuk Hazeh.
Oh, that's what you have to think when you say that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure. For saying that, I didn't know that. So we have to. So that's what. Oh, so I'm saying that if the Asar Arugei Malchus, if Rabbi Shmuel wouldn't have heard it me'acharei ha'paragud, the nevuah would have been so clear to him that this is what has to be done, that he wouldn't have felt anything, and because of that, it had to dafke come me'acharei ha'paragud. That means. To b'shas he hears the Dvar Hashem, he should hear it in a matzav of still feeling that there's olam hazeh around with tov and with ra, and that makes the nisayon. And it could be, you could say, that the Megillas Eicha that was written by Yirmiyah Novi with Nevuah. And it's Yadua, they asked the Chazon Ish, I heard from Reb Meir once, how could Yirmiyah Novi write such a Megillah with Nevuah? Veina Nevuah sure, only mitoch simcha. So how could he write such a Megillah? How could you write such a Megillah with simcha? So he says, no, I don't know what the Chazon Ish answer is very hard. Well, I don't understand. He says, no, he wrote, Eicha Yosho Badod, Lebedik Freilach. I said, come on. I think that the Chazon Ish meant that when Mashiach comes, we're going to see the pnimius of the Eicha Yosho Badod and the Hoysa Kalmona, that we're going to say it with Simcha. The pnimius is Simcha. So I'm saying, what I want to say with all this is that there are certain Yudiyas and certain Inyonim that have to dafke come in a tzura of a leak. And the tolna leaks, they came in such a way and somebody leaked it, but there are gems over there. Now,
Rabbi Kaplan.
What?
Just say a word, Laskir Tova, the blogger Hershel Tzig.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, 8-9 years ago, whenever it was, he introduced it to everybody. I believe he found it. He posted the sefer, and I believe that's at least our Makor among others.
Oh.
That's the Makor.
Now, okay, it could be whoever Hershel Tzig is, we also don't know. And, yeah, so...
and by the way, Chaverenu Rav Schneider looked up Hershel Tzig. It's brought in Chabad stories of the Baal Shem Tov. There was somebody called Hershel Tzig in the time of the Baal Shem Tov.
It's brought in the Sefer Zichronos.
There have been some sefers brought.
Zichronos of the Lubavitch River. Okay. Probably it means Anashim Pshutim Hershel Tzig. Tzig means goat, by the way. Okay, let it be like that. But what did I want to say? I think in the zchus of our producer that he asked me to talk about the Tolner leagues, so it brought me to think about these sites.
Rabbi Kaplan last year told Rav Schneider is clearly it's Hayom Bidyuk. He wants to get into it again, and he asked me to where it is and when I sent it to him. And Shia Bari Rav Schneider.
What does he want to get into?
The tolna leaks again. He
He
wants.
wants to find it and read it.
No, I sent it to him a few months ago, and he wants to ask me where it was again. So I refound it for him. Okay. He inspired me.
So one thing I wanted to say that I got the feeling from the whole Tolner leaks about the Rebbe, the Pnei Menachem, Rabbi Pinchas Menachem, Alter of Ger, the Ger Rebbe, that he was, even though he was going Olam, and I mean, they say that Moshe Feinstein was impressed from him, and he was definitely a tzaddik, and he was also he was Mekar of people. The Avos Yisrael showed from him. But from the Talmud leaks, I get the feeling that he was also, he had the need to, how should I say it, the need to be playful, maybe is the word. To say something sharp, to say a sharp joke, to give a punch, like we say in our language, every once in a while. And I will say over a certain juicy story that I read there, that he was, that this, first of all, I want to say, Rabbi Yitzhak Menachem, what's his name, Weinberg, the Tolner Rebbe, which they called the Tolner Rebbe. So he was his companion, I think you can say, although he was his Rebbe, and Pinchas Nachum was his Rebbe, but he was in a certain level, he was also his companion. So they once said, well, we're going to go to visit the Erloyer Rebbe, which was not really a Hasidic Rebbe. It was a Kibbel Yochel, the Mamshich Darko of the Chasam Sofer, but for some reason they became Hasidic. I guess they saw that there were ways things were in Hungary. They can't continue in Eretz Yisrael after the war. There's only either Hasidim or not Hasidim. So he saw that you better go and become like Hasidic. So the Rabbi Pinchas Menachem was going to go visit their lawyer. So he said to Tony, and it was before Pesach. I guess he was going to go visit him and say good Yom Tov. So he said to Rabbi Yitzhak Menachem Weinberg, his companion, his gabbai, whatever you want to call him, he said to him, you know what I'm going to say to the lawyer? I'm going to say, before Pesach, it's a time that's as shaykhs to you, because the Korban Pesach, it's called Arl's now out to eat the Korban Pesach, and your name is Erloy. You're called Erloyer, so you have to cut off the Arla before Pesach. If not, you can't do the Korban Pesach, and you have a shaykhs to Pesach. So Rabbi Yitzhak Menachem Weinberg, Tolner Rebbe, said to him, don't say that. I guess that's why I call him his companion, because Rabbi Yitzhak Menachem was the Rebbe, the Ger Rebbe, and if he could say, don't say that, he was more than just a chassid. So he said, no, don't say that. It's like a joke. It's a joke that's matim for me, for somebody, for a let's like me, but the Ger Rebbe should say such a joke.
Rabbi Caplan, רק להזכיר לך מה שמרגליה בפומה של חברנו ידיד נפשנו רב אברהם מרדכי פרייפלד. He always quotes Rav Leibel Eger that Moshe Rabbeinu went out to לקרוא איש לרעהו.
Oh, he needed a companion. He needed a Re'eh.
Even Moshe Rabbeinu, the Rabbi, he had to have somebody to schmooze with.
Yeah. It could be that even the Lubavitcher Rebbe, which was all together, all by himself, I think he did have somebody I read. There was somebody, Quint, that he was Litai, and he learned in Slobodka, and he was clean shaven, and then he became a secretary there. He was a Talmud Chacham, became a secretary there, and they found the Lubavitcher Rebbe discussing things with him every once in a while. It could be. Anyway, Nazar Linyaneno. So he said, don't say that. So he said, no, I am going to say it. And he did say it.
Rabbi Kaplan, we're taking another break now, thank you.